Shares at Hims& Hers jumped 7% in trading on Wednesday, and for good reason. The company is adding menopause and perimenopause products to its lineup for the Hers app. Now, this is a huge opportunity because this is actually a much smaller app, much bigger growth potential than the Hims app has right now. So I want to dig into exactly what we found out today and how this may impact the company's income statement and growth trajectory long term. This is really the thesis with Hims & Hers, is that this is not just a one product company. A lot of investors still think this is a GLP-1 company. It's not. They are adding specialties on a regular basis. They're going to be increasing the number of subscribers and the number of products that they can bring to those subscribers. So this is the long-term growth trajectory. This is why this company can 10x, even 100x in value over the next decade or two. So let's dig into it. My name is Travis Hoium. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And thanks to this video sponsor, The Motley Fool. If you go to fool.com/ASYM, they'll give you their top 10 stocks to buy right now. Let's go straight to the announcement from Hims & Hers launches menopause and perimenopause specialty. Again, this is something that they have been talking about for quite a while. So for investors who have been following this company, this is not a surprise. What's a surprise is the timing, because we didn't know exactly when this is going to come out. By the way, the next specialty that they've been talking about is longevity. So that's a big can of worms to open up. We'll see exactly what that looks like. But they've now launched testosterone and menopause and perimenopause products. So these should be the growth drivers over the next year or so. And I want to highlight some of the information in this paragraph right here. Hers app, founded in 2018. So this is kind of operated as a little bit of a separate business, a little bit different solutions for the Hims app and the Hers app. So they do kind of treat these a little bit differently. But today, over 500,000 subscribers, and they're expecting to pass $1 billion in annual revenue in 2026. So let's put that into context of the entire business. Hims & Hers overall has 2.44 million subscribers, and the business has $2 billion worth of revenue. So what they're saying is that in 2026, so next year, they're expecting to get to about $1 billion in revenue for the Hers app. That likely means, based on the numbers that we have today, that Hims & Hers should grow to $3 to $4 billion worth of revenue. The mean estimate from analysts right now is $2.8 billion worth of revenue in 2026. So going from $2.3 billion in 2025 to $2.8 billion in 2026, and then $3.3 billion in 2027. This is where I think there's a huge opportunity, because I think the market is still misunderstanding the growth opportunity for Hims & Hers. Because if we just go back to their financial results, this growth rate, I'll pull the growth rate in here, is much, much higher than what investors analysts are expecting for next year. Over the past year, a 89% growth rate. A lot of that was driven by GLP-1s, but GLP-1s are still a business for Hims & Hers. It's still something they're offering, still have a lot of different weight loss solutions. So that's maybe going to be a little bit of a headwind to growth, but then you're adding all of these specialties. And that's going to allow Hims & Hers to move into new markets where they don't really have a big presence today. The Hers side of the business, which is somewhere around 20-25% of the business overall, is a huge opportunity for Hims & Hers. So that's why I think this is such big news for Hims & Hers. Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. The more they can expand the market, the more they can expand the number of subscribers, the more this becomes an aggregator in healthcare. And the real power in this market is going to be as Hims & Hers has more and more subscribers on the platform. Then they have the power to say, you know what, if we want to add these other solutions, pharmaceutical companies, you got to work with us on price. Maybe they can bring in more generics. There's lots of different options they can do to bring in more supply to the market, but you have to have the demand first. And if Hims & Hers is that aggregator of demand, if they go from 2 million subscribers today to 10 million subscribers to 20 million subscribers, just imagine how big that opportunity becomes, because now you have suppliers who are going to be banging down your door saying, you know what, we want to get on the Hims & Hers platform. So I think this is phenomenal news. This is another thing that's going to bring positive attention to Hims & Hers. And that flywheel of growth should continue. Still think the stock isn't all that expensive once you look at the numbers. I mentioned that 89% growth rate, but look at this. Enterprise value to sales, just 6.5 right now. Price to earnings multiple looks expensive at about 75, even 80 on a forward basis. But remember, Hims & Hers is focused on growth, not profitability right now. So that's why that enterprise value to sales multiple is something that I look at. And you look at some of the other high growth stocks in the market that are associated with artificial intelligence, for example, you can get price to sales multiples that are not only over 20, but over 100 in some cases. So a lot of opportunity for multiple expansion on top of revenue growth and margin expansion for Hims and Hers. So a lot to like. This is why this is one of my biggest holdings right now. But let me know what you think about Hims and Hers moving into menopause and perimenopause. Leave your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.